Hello, what's going on, everybody? Today we're gonna have a conversation about kind of like old grind spots. Not really old, but just these kind of irrelevant grind spots. I kind of wanted to start with Kratuga and kind of just work my way down. Really, the main topic is going to be Kratuga because I feel like this spot has just fallen so far behind every other spot in the game, which is kind of sad because given the fact that Kratuga is technically a higher like end game grind spot, I wouldn't say end game, but like that mid tier when you're starting to get some AP and DP grind spot where you can make some real bread. That's what it was supposed to be. Before the Valencia rework, this was actually kind of a very, very good spot in comparison to like, you know, Ackman, Histria, stuff like that because of all the drops that are here. But now it is not worth coming here whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up both trash loots here from Kratuga and Ackman. I'm gonna go over the differences here and how this just doesn't add up properly as to where Kratuga kind of needs a bit of a tweak because it's no longer worth grinding here, considering that Ackman is way less gear oriented. Kratuga, you need DP. Ackman, you just need to be good. So let's take a look at the Kratuga trash loot here. All right, we got one tongue grad, we got a bunch of forbidden books, 24 Kafras, and 7.6k trash, which translates to roughly around 69 million, something like that in terms of trash loot money. Now I will give it credit, the Kafras were actually rather surprising. I didn't actually expect to pull that much, and this is the first time I have pulled that much, so that was weird, and I didn't use really anything special. I popped the GM's blessing, that's about it, but yellow scroll and a GM blessing, that's really it. As for the trash loot, this is the part that I want to say is just absolutely like down bad, like worthless. 69 million for just trash loot? Hell no. Hell no. Let me tell you something. You can go to Waragons, pull 32 Kafras an hour. On top of that, pull 14k trash if you have a good group, and that equates to roughly around 140 million plus 30 Kafras plus Serap's necklaces for Yonas in case you're doing the pen accessory quests. Waragons kicks the shit out of this place. Sure, group grind spot, annoying, but I'm just saying, it's really fucking good. And if we also factor in every other area in Valencia, this spot is still irrelevant. It is very irrelevant. I can go to Basham's and pull 150 mil in trash loot and some BMCs. And considering that BMCs are a hot commodity right now for the pen quests and all that stuff, I got one BMC. One. That is down bad terrible. I would say that it's relevant if it pulled at least 5 to 6 BMCs. That would be actually pretty good. I could deal with the trash loot because right now everyone's in Valencia grinding for BMCs and stuff. However, since it's not really something that's like crazy, it's just one BMC, and even if I pulled 3, it doesn't redeem the spot. Altogether, trash loot wise included the forbidden books, which equated to about 14-ish mil, something like that. Kafras put me about 60 something mil. So it's like 120 mil if I sell the Kafras. If I sell the books alongside it, that's another 12 mil on top of the 120. The BMC, 6 mil, and the stones, maybe a few more mil on top of that. So yeah, it's really not good. Even if we factored in the tongue grad too, it goes up to 180 mil, but that is only if you sell everything, and I do not recommend that because Kafra's hot commodity as well at the moment. As a new player, if you're grinding or if you're like a mid-tier player and you've got, you know, some Tet armors, or maybe you've got a couple pen weapons and then you've got maybe 1 or 2 pen armors, these Kafras are more valuable to your gear rather than selling on the market. Especially if that 1 DP or 1 AP reaches you to another bracket, those Kafras are way more valuable in your gear than on the market. Now if we hop on over to the Ackman trash, this is far superior. In trash loot alone, 12k in 1 hour on a gold loot scroll, that is roughly around 105 million, near about double what Kratuga was giving me. Not to mention we have the Pila Frey scrolls, which was like what, I don't know, like maybe 18 or some shit. I'm not gonna count it. But it's roughly around like 25-ish, 30 mil. So pretty good. We got 2, 4, 5 BMCs times 6. Pretty good money in that department too. Obviously, I didn't fucking sell them, but more money still. Kafra's not nearly as good as Kratuga for whatever reason. Like I said, I've never pulled more than like maybe 10 in Kratuga. I don't know might have been the drop event for the Kafras in this department, so it could be that. I'll chalk it up to that. So we're not gonna count the Kafras. It's fucking weird, but 14 Kafras at Ackman is pretty normal. That's regular. Sometimes I can even pull 20, so that's actually not that bad. So all in all, easily with Ackman, it's like 150, 190 mil, like easy, like without like every single hour is going to be consistently 150 to 190 selling everything. If you just care about the trash loot and you sell the scrolls, that's still easy 130 mil an hour. And if you've already done your pen stuff and you don't need to do it anymore, the BMCs on top of that you can sell to the market easily, you know, 6, 12, and so on and so on. It's good money. It is always good money. Even Ackman, a place that is very dated as well, is far superior than Kratuga, and Kratuga came at a later time and was supposed to be the upgraded version, which I will say, Kratuga is an RNG spot, 100% it is. In Kratuga, you have the Tungrad Earring, you've got the Latent, you've got the L-Cars. You can make big money if you're willing to gamble for your time. However, fuck that. I don't even gamble with my gear. Why would I gamble with my time? My time is very precious. I ain't trying to die at the age of 40, okay? I'm trying to get my gains now that are guaranteed and not gamble my life away. Fuck that. Kratuga sucks dick. It needs to be updated or something, because this is not for the gear requirements to come here versus what Ackman is giving. It doesn't make sense. Kratuga, you need hella DP. I won't say hella DP, but you need at least like 310 DP to come here to feel comfortable. I was grinding here back in the day around 297 and it was ass. It was AIDS, because like as a Zerker, if I'm not rotating super armors properly, like using Devastation or my bomb spin, I was basically getting CC'd and fucking dumpstered in 5 seconds. And I came here on a lawn with 320 DP a little while ago when I was still in Phantom Troop. That shit sucked too, because I didn't know how to play the class very well and I was playing Succession and I wasn't used to the iframes. So I was trying to super armor stuff and the lawn is very squishy. So I would just get almost two-shotted. It was crazy. So it's like one of those things that you either have to be really, really fucking good with your class and understand your iframes and how to move properly, or you have to have gear and super armor trade the mobs. It's like really annoying. As it stands for right now, it ain't that bad. I can just literally stand still and nothing will fucking happen to me with a frenzy drought on. But like for people that are mid-tier that are meant to come here, it makes no sense for them. And as for Ackman, this place is far easier. They don't do nearly as much damage. The CCs are more manageable. And on top of that, the room density, like in terms of just every single room, they're very, very condensed together. So it makes going from pack to pack and rotating very, very easier than, or more easy, I should say, than Kratuga. Even the other rooms in Kratuga too, not that great. It's a lot of running around, especially for all the like fucking rooms and shit. It is way more aids to run Kratuga than it is Ackman, especially since Ackman is more money anyway. And continuing on with the subject, I would like to mention Gyfins. This place has been irrelevant even before the Valencia update, even before we got Star's End, even before we even got Kratuga. This place is ass. And I'm gonna repeat, it is Giga, Mega, Ultra, Power Rangers, transforming ass. There are people that go to Trees still. And even then, Trees is rather irrelevant also. If it wasn't for the XP, Trees would be empty like every place in fucking like Dragon, all right? The only people that go to Dragon now are just desperate motherfuckers that want to get the pot piece. I have given up on the pot piece. I've grinded that shit for 2 hours and said, nope, this is not for me. However, Gyfins has a Tungrad belt and the trash loot is worth 15,000, but every rotation at Gyfins is beyond stupid. It is too much running around, none of the mobs are condensed, and the amount of trash loot that you get per drop is just minuscule. It is way worse. Everything in Valencia will net you far more money than anything at Gyfins, unless you pull a Tungrad belt and Tungrad belts are actually selling at like max price. That is the only time where I would even remotely consider Gyfins, and even then I still wouldn't go there. Why? Because I can go to Star's End, pull a disto for 300 mil. I'm not merely saying this video is supposed to be like, yo, update these spots right now. This is just like, I'm pointing it out and making sure that this is not forgotten. That, you know, we're not another year where Gyfins is worthless, or we're not another year where Kratuga is worthless. Like, these spots actually should matter because having good spots spread out the map. So having these things actually changed and updated to current events, because there's no goddamn way that Basham's for 190 AP is going to net me 160 mil an hour, and Kratuga is going to barely net me 120, and it costs more to even go there for the DP and AP that you have to go even in there. Not to mention, to get into Kratuga, you actually need to pay for it to even get in. If you have a Black Spirit Claw, you can go grind for it, but you know, fuck that. I'm not going to go to Gaha's, grind for a Spirit Claw, only to walk halfway across the map just to go to Kratuga. That's literally worthless. And like I said in Dragon, like, don't even get me started with Dragon, dude. I get it, it's pot piece. People don't want to rework it because like, oh well, it has value in this department or whatever. Everyone's grinding for the pot piece. You have to be careful with updating Dragon, because if you do, then it's going to be overran, and then the pot piece is going to be so hard to grind because everyone's going to dogpile in there because, oh, finally the trash loot's worth something. So it's hard to balance Dragon because there's a very sought after item there. And since a lot of people are weighing the values of should I go grind for the pot piece? It's very little money, and on top of that, it's very time consuming. I should probably go do something else, because that is the legitimate truth. That's how I see it. I don't grind for the pot piece because I can do more with my time than go sit there and wait for something that'll never drop for me, at least for another 500 hours. So updating Dragon would be very hard to do, like I said, considering that there's very hot commodity items there, but they should still be updated to some degree, just not overtuned like Valencia. Not saying that Valencia needs a nerf, because please don't. However, Dragon definitely is very, like, terrible. And I'm sure you guys have no idea what the hell a Fodis is or what a Ronaros is. I'm sure you know what a Ronaros is, because unfortunately, you know, you need a pot piece grind there. But Ronaros is trash. Fodis, it makes no sense. There is, like, almost no reason to go to Fodis. I have never even had, like, even when I was questing, right? I never once had to go to Fodis for any reason. It is a piece on the map that has actually no value, no reason to exist whatsoever. I'm not saying get rid of it, but for the love of God, you actually have forgot about it. Like, straight up, you have literally forgot about this spot for actually years. It's crazy. And then we get to the last spot, Mansions. What the fuck? I know what you're thinking. You're like, Mansions is actually good. It's like, you know, it's 8,000 per trash, and then, you know, you can go around, get the pot piece, you get the narc. Shut up. No, you don't. The place sucks balls. I'm serious. The place is actually terrible. If you've ever grinded there, and I have for a long time, I used to grind here all the time because I finally had the AP, and it was the only spot in the game that wasn't really overly crowded, and the trash loot was okay. When I finally got AP to actually clear the mobs like in like 2 hits, I was amazed at how bad the spot is. This is up there with Kratuga, except it's worse than Kratuga, because in Kratuga, the mobs are more dense and you can go ahead and pull more trash in Kratuga. However, when you're grinding at Mansions, you are running everywhere. It is a speed grind area. You can't just like have this small little room rotation. No, you swing around the whole place, or else you are gonna overclear. I remember I seen some guy in like server chat, and he was like, Mansions is easy, like 100, 150, 200 mil an hour. It's so easy. And I'm like, how? And he just like, you just pop a loot scroll and you just throw on Agris. I'm like, bitch, what do you mean turn on Agris? Why the fuck would I do that when I can go to Fogans and use actually no Agris and pull double the money? Why would I do that? Again, it's tough to balance Mansions and Ronaros because these are 2 spots that also drop the fucking pot piece, but my point still stands. Why the hell is it still so bad? And it's not even like respectable bad. Like literally 69 mil at Kratuga, right? Like, okay, I can work with that, sure. Fucking like 30, 40 mil on a blue loot scroll at Mansions? Hell no. Even if you're pot piece grinding, I would not. Obviously, it's an exaggeration. It's more than 30, 40 mil. It's like 50, 60-ish, depending on how fast you clear. But it's pretty bad. It's pretty awful. And then we have Navarne Steppe, which I have found a way to make it valuable, but the fact is that you have to fucking try and make it valuable is pretty ass. Like the server swapping method for Navarne Steppe, just so you can get the Griffin's rotation and do the whole ancient dust strat, is really stupid. It's dumb. It's genuinely dumb. The spot alone, if you fight the Feather Wolves and you do that large ass rotation towards the back going towards polys, you can actually pull easily like 40, 50 mil if you have a speed class. But again, why? It's genuinely terrible. It really has no value. There's no good drops, especially since the Griffin helmet is supposed to drop off of Griffins, but I have grinded actually at least 30 hours of Griffins before when I used to do the Ancient Dust method, and I can promise you I ain't never got one. So yeah, it's fucking bad. And then we won't really talk about polys because it serves a purpose. It gives SP, like you're making no money, but you're making hella SP, so the trade-off makes sense. But that doesn't mean that you can't buff the trash loot to at least 5k. I would very much appreciate that. So yeah, there you have it. These are the spots that I genuinely believe that I actually need fucking work. I know Medaya is a whole situation, but I believe there's going to be like a server specifically dedicated to them that's supposed to like, you know, rework all that stuff where, you know, Sazens or whatever is just worth it and all these other things. But yeah, just those spots over in like Kama, like Fodis, you're not going to convince me that that doesn't need to be reworked. Kratuga is pretty bad for the gear score requirements. It makes no sense to go there when you can just go to Bashams with literally no gear score and pull double the money. Gyfins is a joke. Again, same situation. 15k and the gear score requirements are so goddamn high to go there, but why when you can go to Valencia and make double the money than you would at the Gyfins? So yeah, anyway, that is it for today's video. Hopefully you guys are informed and enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.
Yeah, she knows I'm no one. Yeah, she knows I don't need no and